Lewis Hamilton scored his first career win around the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve in Montreal, Canada. Can we get him his first win of Season 2 in today's episode? What is up, guys? Welcome back to AHGP. Welcome back to F1 Manager with Mercedes. My name's Aaron. I'm managing Mercedes. And we are preparing for the Canadian Grand Prix round 9 of Season 2 already. We are flying through these races. We've got 2 wins under our belts already. Red Bull have won all of the others. They've won the last 2 races. George Russell has 2 wins. Lewis Hamilton yet to win this season, but maybe we're going to put that right today at one of his favourite circuits to win around several race victories there, including his first in 2007. And Canada can throw up some wild races. Not in real life for a while, but we're hopefully going to bring plenty of action to you today with another sprint weekend. So there's not really that much to do about it. I have been manufacturing some extra parts that were developed, if I can find the correct page. So we've got a new front wing, which I think might have gone on in the last episode, a new rear wing, new side pods went on in the last round at Monaco, underfloor suspension. So we've been putting new bits on the car, so hopefully it goes fast. And if we just look at the development, we're designing a new chassis and new suspension, and we're manufacturing more parts as well. Championship standings heading into a consecutive sprint weekend. We are not quite 100 points. We are 93 points adrift of Red Bull in the Constructors' Championship. George Russell is second in the Drivers, level on points with Sergio Perez, but now some 56 points behind Max Verstappen after the Dutchman took 2 straight wins. So I'm going to set some performance targets for the weekend, and then I'll see you in qualifying, probably Q3. Okay, Q2 complete, and we are Max Verstappen's closest challenger with George Russell. Hamilton 4th fastest, so we are right in amongst it with the Red Bulls, but so are Ferrari. They've looked sharp so far. I think they didn't top practice, but they were quick in practice. And yeah, we're doing okay. We need to build the driver confidence. Car setup has gone awry for Lewis. We've not got the cornering to his liking. But that's what happens when you've only got one practice session to nail it. But we've got him in P4 at the moment. We've got potential rain for the sprint. We just need to have a good start position for the sprint. And let's sort that out right now. And well, we'll just immediately follow this Ferrari out of the garage, which I believe is Sainz, and hopefully he will give us a tow. And obviously with all the long straights in Canada, a tow is very useful. Charles Leclerc actually coming out of the garage, as is Lance Stroll. So let's follow the first lap. Hopefully we won't get any traffic. Stroll gets out the way, stays out the way. Are we quicker than Sainz in the first sector? We are. I think that was Leclerc getting out the way too. Let's keep an eye out for the middle sector. Russell, fastest of anybody. 21.1 and a 21.7 plays a 21.2 and a 21.8. Hamilton a couple of tenths down on his teammate. Russell is flying. Sainz sets the initial pace, but is immediately beaten by George Russell, who does a 10.9, repeating what he did in Q2. So that's a decent start, but I think Verstappen will probably go faster. In fact, Leclerc has set the fastest first sector of anybody. Norris up in P3. Leclerc getting a bit of a slipstream off his teammate there and splits the Mercedes. Verstappen, purple sectors all round so far, and a slipstream off Albon. And Verstappen goes to the top of the times, and the gap is some 0.3 of a second. That was a special lap from Verstappen. Let's go to our final run and see what we can pull out. Alright, George Russell starting his final flying lap of qualifying. He's giving Hamilton a tow. Red Bull are locking out the front row as it stands. Perez has got ahead of us. So let's see if we can improve on this final run. Verstappen is on track at the same time, but is not improving. Both our drivers have improved, which is rare. They don't seem to improve on their final lap at the same time. And Aston Martin basically coming to a stop there to get out the way. Hamilton, I think, got blocked a little bit. He's not done a personal best middle sector. George Russell, though, what can he achieve through the final chicane? Can he split? He does split the Red Bulls. He's on the front row. Hamilton stays 5th. But crucially for George Russell, he gets himself on the front row for the sprint. 8 thousandths of a second quicker than Perez, who's on a lap and can take that position back. He doesn't. Will be on the front row for the sprint. Hamilton splitting the Ferraris in 5th position. So that's not too bad. That's not bad at all. Yes, we are a 10th and a half off pole position, but we'll only line up 8 metres or so behind the Red Bull on sprint day, and there's rain set to arrive. So I'm going to go through this pointless practice 2 and see you in the sprint. Sprint day in Canada, and it's a soft tyres to the end strategy. Although the aforementioned rain probably was in practice 2. No sign of it in the sprint, so it must have been earlier on in the day. We are all set to go. We've underfueled by a couple of laps. The idea being that if we are getting lots of DRS, we can back off the engine and use the DRS to keep us in touch and save fuel that way. So I don't think there's anything else left to tell you. How many sets of softs do we have? We've got another fresh set for the race there, and a slightly used set for Hamilton. As for Russell, the same, and then we've got 2 sets of mediums as well. So let's see what the sprint's got for us. This could be absolute carnage, and I'm here for it, really. Let's go to the sprint. Alright, George Russell on the front row against his title leading rival Max Verstappen. The race is on. We've got a close-up of George Russell. Perez quickly off the line and taking 2nd position. Hamilton actually there is losing 5th position to Sainz, but Russell's back into 2nd. He's stolen it back from Perez. Hamilton stays in 6th. He's actually got Lando Norris right behind him. Perez looking very racy on this opening lap. The camera is very close on George Russell. I think they've, on the day of recording this, they've updated a few bits, and I'm wondering if the camera angles are part of that. Okay, let's deploy with George Russell and ride on board. Don't think we're close enough to the Red Bull here. Maybe into turn 1. Maybe into turn 1 round the outside. George Russell for the lead of the sprint. George Russell gets the lead of the sprint. Now we need to hang on to it. And there's this group of 5 at the front. Perez a little bit off the back of his teammate now. Hamilton still behind as we have a virtual safety car for an incident on the track. I'm not sure what's happened. Alonso has crashed at turn 3. Not the first time he will have crashed here, but this section of track is just going to go straight on and into the barrier. That's... Yep, that's the end of Fernando Alonso's race. So we'll just top up the battery and cool the tyres. We could really do with Verstappen and Perez, maybe, and Russell, of course, moving away from Leclerc, but the Ferrari's hanging in there. Sainz is just off the back of Hamilton. I wonder if we deploy with Hamilton and see if we can get past Leclerc. The problem is Leclerc has got DRS, so he's just got constant defence against Hamilton, and goes around the outside there. He'll take the lead into turn 1. Perez coming to join the party. Leclerc dropping back a bit, but again he'll be in the DRS window. Russell almost losing the lead there. And in fact, he probably... oh, he's just held on to it there. Good defence from George Russell. But still Leclerc has DRS, so we can't get past him. Well, no sooner did the words come out of my mouth than Hamilton has gone past Leclerc and is now in 4th position. I missed it because I was speeding things along. And yeah, now Hamilton is going to be part of this lead group fighting over first place. I've also got to manage fuel with both cars, so I might just ease off on the fuel and actually allow Verstappen to retake the lead and then just hang in there with the DRS. So Verstappen has gone back in front, but we are saving fuel. We've actually backed off on the tyres a little bit to just help that a smidge more, because if you've got attack or aggressive on with the tyres, your lap time comes down, but obviously you're using fuel to do that. So we're still conserving fuel. 3 laps to go. We've got loads of battery. We can probably snatch it on the final lap. What's the tyre situation like? Russell's used more of his tyres than the Red Bull, or either of them. But it's just about making sure we've got fuel to finish the race. Here comes Russell now down the outside to take the lead. The DRS just so powerful here. Hamilton can't really make any progress because he's stuck in a DRS train. Hamilton is actually 0.3 of a kilo short. We're on the final lap and we haven't recovered the fuel as Verstappen takes the lead. That wasn't in the plan. We need to conserve on the tyres. Russell 0.1 of a kilo short and possibly short on a race, on a sprint victory. Russell takes the lead and Perez is going through. It's not worked out for Mercedes here. We're probably actually not going to finish. Okay, this is not good news. Perez has actually won the sprint. And Russell crosses the line. Oh, Hamilton has stopped! And he's going to start at the back. I don't believe it. Hamilton is going to start this race 19th because he's run out of fuel. Russell only just made it across the line. Oh my gosh. What have I done? Oh. Okay. That has ended terribly. Russell just gets over the line. Hamilton will start on the back row with Fernando Alonso. Just couldn't conserve enough fuel. Well, more for me. Maybe I won't underfuel quite so heavily for the Grand Prix. Lesson learned. Okay, we've set up the strategies and, like I said, lesson learned about the fuel. Only 1 lap under fueling. So for George Russell, 1 stop because 1-stoppers were quick in season 1 around Canada. And if there's a safety car, a 2-stop immediately becomes quicker. So we will box if there is a safety car. Hopefully it comes out at a good time for us. For Hamilton, we've got to make progress. So soft, medium, soft for him. 2-stopper. Get him overtaking people. And then we will see how his race unfolds. If we can make the softs go a little bit further, then we will. Or we might even go to the hard tyres. But again, a safety car makes his strategy very, very quick. The AI will probably box under the safety car as well. So big recovery job for Lewis Hamilton here. Totally my fault, so it's my job to get him out of this. Need a little bit of his virtuoso assistance too, but George Russell, we've got the pace to win this race. The sprint has told us that, okay, the DRS is very helpful and very powerful, but use it to your advantage and you will get a good result. Let's just hope that the safety car doesn't deny us another podium here like it did last year. Not sure we're going to win the race with Hamilton, but, you know, stranger things have happened in Formula One. Let's do a motor race. So it's an all Red Bull front row. Sergio Perez, who stole the win of the sprint on the last lap, starts from the front. The lights are out and the race is on. And Russell actually looking like he's going to take second position here early on. But that inside line for Verstappen is crucial. Hamilton has already moved up to 17th ahead of Hülkenberg. But here's Russell still side by side with his title rival Max Verstappen. Can we steal the position? I think we might have. Oh, I was just about to celebrate and a bit too soon. But we're still there, still fighting wheel to wheel. Round the outside with Russell. Can we make it stick? I don't think we're going to be able to. Into the hairpin, and Verstappen will just get his yellow nose ahead. I've put Hamilton on high overtake aggression. We do need to have a lot of aggression in the overtakes. Goes past Ricciardo. Now Magnussen is the next on his hit list. If you watch season 1, Hamilton had to do a big recovery job thanks to a grid penalty at this race because this guy, Alonso, took him out in Spain. Tyres wise, Stroll's on a set of softs. Hamilton now goes past Magnussen and is making progress. So he's actually going around the outside of an Alpine. Look at the progress that Hamilton's making. I said we needed some virtuoso performance from him, and we are getting it. He's up to 14th already. It's coming together nicely for Hamilton. Russell now back in the action. As long as we can just hang in there, then everything will be fine and dandy. Hamilton now behind Logan Sargent. Might just turn his overtake aggression down a smidge to avoid calamity as Russell continues to fight for the win. Russell's up to second. He's pulled that move on Verstappen. We saw it in the sprint. We'll watch it again here. Around the outside of turn 1. Pinches the magic inside line of F1 Manager for turn 2. Now he's in second position. So if we can just keep him there and shadow Perez, then we can steal the win in exactly the same way that Perez did in the sprint. But we can steal the big one. But I think we might have a chance here. No. Sargent's actually making a move. Russell's taken the lead. He can pass them either side through here. Look at that. Oh, that was close to the front wing of Perez. And the lead now belongs to George Russell. There's been a lock-up for Logan Sargent, which means Lewis Hamilton has gained a position. Sargent was in 10th. He's no longer in 10th. So a free position for Hamilton. He's up to 11th now, and it's his old buddy Bottas, who he's just going past there. He's at peak confidence. That means it's hammer time. And he's into the top 10. George Russell still leads this race as Perez now goes around the outside of Russell, retakes the lead. Not bothered about that because there's a DRS zone at basically every straight here, which means the chasing car can just stay in touch. And look at the train. Goes back to Carlos Sainz. And then you've got Gasly and Albon duking it out off the back of him. So basically the top 8 are running all together. Norris is on his own and is about to be overtaken, I think, by Lewis Hamilton, who can then go and join that party at the front. Alright, pit stop for Lewis Hamilton. Max Verstappen has just taken the lead from George Russell. We'll watch this pit stop to see A, how it goes, and B, where Hamilton comes back out. 2.8 seconds. Not our best work of the season. Verstappen seems to be trying to escape at the front. Not a fan of that, but we'll have DRS here. Hamilton pops back out in 17th, but with clear air, can now pump in some fast laps. Now we have a virtual safety car. There's been a crash. Lance Stroll has crashed at turn 3. Exactly the same as what his teammate did in the sprint. So let's quickly save some fuel. Hurts Hamilton a little bit because the AI might choose to box, although they're not. So that's actually good news. Right, Hamilton has caught Fernando Alonso. We need him to make moves on these guys, pretty sharpish. Push with the engine. We'll just turn everything up here. Overtake aggression back up to high. Russell looking for a way past for the lead. These two have left Perez behind. There's Hamilton. It's all happening. And look at this gaggle of cars that is just prime for overtakes. Just don't want to crash into any of them because they're not our race. Round the outside of Sonoda. Don't mind if we do. Just overtake after overtake after overtake. Hamilton with a third overtake in this lap. Magnussen, not yet. But just look at this. Oh, they're moving across. As Russell now takes the lead. Kind of busy watching this overtaking montage from Lewis Hamilton. Here we go, around the outside of Piastri. Yep, thank you very much. Russell into the box. Verstappen carries on. Slightly slow off on the right front. Slow all over at 4.7. Far from ideal. Where is Russell going to pop back out? Ahead of Lando Norris? In fact, he's ahead of Gasly. That is fantastic. So now we'll push with everything, get these hard tyres up to temperature. Hamilton making more moves. Verstappen's in. And in fact, he has gone to a set of soft tyres. So Verstappen is surely two-stopping here. He's going to be mighty fast, but he's going to have to stop again. Well, this is something I didn't expect. The AI have either done something different and unexpected, or they've reacted to what I'm doing. Hamilton only 7 seconds behind Verstappen, and they've both got to stop again. What's Perez gone on to? He's also gone on to a set of softs. So this is very, very interesting. There goes Verstappen round the outside. Leclerc has retaken the place from Hamilton. If we can just stay with the Red Bull, that would be great. We'll have the DRS. So it's just about seeing how this strategy unfolds. If Verstappen pits again, then we need to do the same and respond. But if he doesn't, I think we're in a much better position. Because as long as he doesn't escape, then we can still win the race. We have a safety car on the track, and that's Max Verstappen in the wall! He's out of the race! He's in the lead! And he's crashed all on his own! I don't believe it! I know, Max, it's unbelievable. He's crashed while he's in the lead. And he's handed it to George Russell. And everybody here is pitting.
So safety car.
Hamilton absolutely has to pit now.
Just try and keep as much temp as possible.
Do we put him on a set of mediums to make sure they go to the end? I'm going to put him on a set of mediums. Russell. What do we do with George Russell?
So we'll box.
Do you know what? I think if we pit him onto another set of mediums, because we've got 2 fresh sets of mediums to use, we'll get him to the end comfortably. It's just whether the AI box and go on to softs. But then if they do, those tyres will melt in the end and we'll be able to be okay. So we'll conserve the fuel, we'll harvest. This is useful for Hamilton. It brings him right into the fight, in fact, for a victory. Because I'm sure he'll... Yeah, Leclerc's coming in as well. Perez has stayed out. Decent stop for Russell. Slightly slower for Hamilton, who's going to pop out ahead of Lando Norris. So Albon has stayed out. So has Perez. Sainz has also stayed out on older softs. Leclerc has gone to mediums. Surely Perez, Sainz and Albon will box this lap. In fact, they've caught the safety car. Alright, the safety car is coming in. We've got 3 kilograms of extra fuel. And a Red Bull in the lead again. The other one of Perez. There's a wild Alex Albon in 4th place. Hamilton and Leclerc are going to be trying to chase down Russell for the win. There is no way that Perez and Sainz make those go to the end. And Perez will lead them away through the chicane and over the finish line to restart the race. He's on old softs, so we just need to stay with him. We'll keep it on attack there. We get Hamilton driving in clean air, and he's battling with Leclerc to get through and have first dibs at Albon. He'll have the inside line for the hairpin, and that is a through goes Hamilton moment. Now he can get after the Williams. Russell just needs to stay in 2nd place because this race will come to him now. Is Hamilton still on? He's still on high overtake aggression. We're going around the outside of the Williams here. Oh, it's a beautiful move from Lewis Hamilton to take 4th position, surely. Make it stick. There we go. We're doing a motor race at Mercedes and we're now in the lead of it. George Russell into 1st position. We can scale back on the tyres there. So we've got a little bit of a buffer now. Hamilton can somewhat protect his teammate. Sainz and Perez will be in trouble later on. So we could be looking at a 1-2 here. But mindful of Leclerc and his magic burst of speed, which he does like to bring out every once in a while. Here comes George Russell. DRS. And the lead of the race. Close enough into the chicane. We're right on the gearbox of the Ferrari. And we're actually going through. Oh no, we're not. Not quite. So close. But now Sainz has lost DRS. And we're still side by side. And surely here into the chicane in the middle sector. Perez has actually caught Russell and is taking the lead. I think Hamilton will get the DRS and the position from Sainz. Russell will just sit behind the Ferrari, the Red Bull with, and now Hamilton is in 3rd place. So that's the Ferrari dealt with. And we can take off the drive in clean air because we want him to close the gap to this lead pair, and we can just double team Perez. And we have a big question on our hands now. Basically, we can influence completely with one click of a button which driver wins this race. All I have to do is click "Don't fight teammate" for Lewis Hamilton, and he won't go past him, and George Russell will then win the race. I'm going to take the decision now, even though we're not 1st and 2nd and we're not clear 1st and 2nd, that I'm going to let them fight. And whoever wins, wins. And at the moment, it looks like it'll be George Russell, because he has used the Russell shuffle on Sergio Perez to not get the lead. Perez fights back, but we are leaving the Ferraris behind. 10 laps to go. Perez might make those tyres go to the end, so probably the sooner we go past him, the better. So let's do that. right now. And Hamilton will get him to push too. See if we can get past the Red Bull, which we can't actually do just yet. Let's harvest with Russell and just get some energy back into the battery and set this move up essentially. In fact, we don't need to because he's taken the lead now already. There we go. Basically, if I stop doing things, then there goes Hamilton, and we're going to be first and second, I think. We are first and second. My throat is getting a bit scratchy, so I need to take a drink. Perez's tyres have just gone the other side. And now I'm going to leave the two drivers in exactly the same modes, and we're going to see who comes out on top. It's a straight fight. Russell versus Hamilton. And Hamilton could win this race from 18th on the grid. He now leads... Oh, does he? He crosses the line in the lead. Lewis Hamilton leads the Canadian Grand Prix. And we're side by side. Oh my God, please don't crash. We've thrown away a win in the sprint because we didn't have enough fuel. If the drivers now crash when we're first and second, I'm walking out that door that's over there. And it might just be the end of the series. We're side by side still. I don't know who got DRS there. I think it was Russell. It was Hamilton. And they're still scrapping it out. And they're pulling away from Perez. At a fair lick as well. I mean, is there a point where we call it off? I think what I'll do is I'll let it get to lap 68. Whoever's in the lead at the start of lap 69 wins the race. We do the don't fight teammate to whoever's second coming out of the second turn. Russell finding a way through now. Is he on driving clean air? What are the instructions the same? They are. So the next lap is the crucial one. Make sure you're in front at the end of it. Here comes Hamilton. It's just overtake after overtake after overtake. Hamilton's at peak confidence. Russell's just at very high. This is the lap. Whoever comes out at the end of this lap will be, or in the lead at least, will be winning the race. Hamilton will have the DRS to cross the start line. So it's whoever comes out of the second corner in the lead will be winning the race. Right, Russell, don't fight teammate. I set my stall out and there we go. Lewis Hamilton will win this race. From 18th on the grid, no less. Absolutely insane. I mean, let me know your thoughts on this little team orders thing. But we can't have them scrapping all the way to the line. I've drawn a line. Lap 68. That's it. It's done now. It's all about making sure we finish first and second. Russell's been at the front the whole race. Yes. But Hamilton has come through and I've let them scrap. I've let them scrap it out. And when it came to the point of no return, Russell found himself in second position. But it's huge for him because he closes the gap on Verstappen at the top of the championship. Maybe not as much as he might do, but I've got to judge this on its merits. This is the race. We're not locked in a battle with Verstappen. Hamilton's by no means out of it. He could go on and win several races now and be right in it. And they're going to follow each other. Well, Russell's going to follow Hamilton home in formation. We have put 9 seconds on Perez, whose softs are dying. Norris is actually 4th, but might lose that to Leclerc. But the big story is that Max Verstappen's crash has handed Mercedes a 1-2 finish. And Lewis Hamilton, from 18th on the grid, 18th to first. He ran out of fuel in the sprint. He wins the Grand Prix. It's a 1-2 for Mercedes. What a moment. Canada delivers an absolutely magical race. Mercedes 1, Mercedes 2. Brilliant. We get to tune up the band again. I'm sure you can hear it already in the post-edit. Celebrations down at Mercedes. Not just a race win, but a first and second on a day where Max Verstappen threw it in the wall. An uncharacteristic error from the world champion. And he puts his old nemesis on the top step. I said at the start it was unlikely he'd win the race. But he's gone and done it. He is Lewis Hamilton. He can pull off the most extraordinary things. In a game or in real life. There's no superlative I can use that hasn't been used before. A fantastic moment for the team. First and second. The car's back in the garage. Brilliant. Even this guy here can't believe it. The boys just dissecting that. I mean, let me know in the comments your thoughts on that race. Absolutely magical stuff. My throat is going again at the end of the episode. These sprint races are not good for my health, it would seem. But a first and second is a wonderful tonic. You may disagree that with my decision to put the team orders out there, maybe I could have let them scrap it all the way to the end and basically had them side by side across the line. But what I didn't want basically the race to be decided by was who had DRS on the final lap, because that looks a bit silly. They had their opportunity to scrap it out and they did, and I called it off. So I made my decision and I stuck to it. I didn't move anything. So I don't know how I'll edit it, but there's a lot of editing to go on in this. This is going to be a fun edit. But yeah, first and second, Sergio Perez comes home third, rescues something for Red Bull. Ferrari beaten by a McLaren. And they looked quick. Leclerc really should have been up here with us, and it should have been a three-way fight. But it wasn't. But thank you very much, Max Verstappen, for crashing out of the race and turning it absolutely on its head. Honestly, we would have still had a shot with George to win the race without the safety car. But it's blown the championship fight wide open. Perez and Russell still somehow locked on points. So yeah, Russell without the win doesn't take a clear points lead in second place. But now the gap is, 39 points to Verstappen. So it's closed up quite significantly there. Constructors wise, we've gained significant ground as well. So a good day, a really, really good day for Mercedes. Pit stops, we don't do fast pit stops. We are slow and steady, wins the race. And today, we did win the race. If you enjoyed all of that carnage, maybe we could just do a whole season of Canada one day. That would be amazing. But if you enjoyed that race, give it a nice big thumbs up. Subscribe for more F1 Manager content on this channel. And leave your love for a 1-2 finish. That was just brilliant. Absolutely fantastic. I will see you in the next race, which I believe is Austria. So until then, you're the best fans. I'll see you next time. It's bye for now.